Okay, yeah, Sean. Okay, Sean.
Win.
House of the Dragon.
Feels like a lifetime ago.
I know, it was.
Remember when we watched that?
I was a younger man. Both shoulders intact.
Let's just be realistic.
This is this is the season 2 trailer, teaser trailer. We're probably not going to be able to decipher much. We do know roughly what happens.
But yeah,
we know a lot of the main events.
The thing is, and I've said it to you yesterday. Today?
Today.
The thing that's been annoying me is something George R. R. Martin has made very clear, and the writers and the directors, is that this isn't like exactly what has been done in the books.
Yeah, this isn't Fire and Blood.
Yeah, because the books are meant and were intended to be like a biased, unreliable point of view. It's like a history book, you know. You because they weren't actually there. All the people that were there were biased, were on their side, so you can't really trust what they're saying. It's not.
There's times where
accurate.
Where one of the viewpoints were telling stories of things that happened where they weren't even there.
Yeah.
So things like that.
Or it was like a carrot, like mushroom, like supposedly catches moments, and you're kind of like, how reliable is mushroom? He's kind of a weird.
Yeah. It's not meant to be that. It's meant to be a telling of the Dance of the Dragons.
Yeah, it's not meant to be 100% accurate, and the idea is that this is meant to be what actually happens.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be interesting to see how much of the book is true, I guess.
Yeah.
And if it is, I assume the general like battles and events are probably actually happening, but
yeah. So let's see what we can pick up.
Errors were made in the hours following King Viserys' death.
That's our door.
The war be fought. Many will die. And the victor will eventually ascend the throne.
That's so true.
There is no war so hateful to the gods as a war between kin. And no war so bloody as a war between dragons.
There goes the Vhagar. Wouldn't take much for me to break it.
You just drop your sword and be like, why even bother?
At any of the dragons, I would poo myself a little bit. Summer 2020.
So long, so far away.
Oh, right then. Let's go back through, see what we can see.
Whoever Rhaenyra is all I've got to say at this point.
She's gonna get it.
That's got to be Storm's End. Got to be. Looking for Viserys. Oh, she's just heard the news.
Yeah, she heard the news about the Viserys at the end.
Yeah.
Didn't she?
I've seen that this basically just picks up straight after.
Yeah. Because what's his name? Is it Boros?
Boris Baratheon.
He was the one that.
Yeah.
That's with him, isn't he? So he essentially broke faith with the Targaryens because
he's on the green side, isn't he?
he did swear fealty to Rhaenyra, didn't he?
Yeah, but he does end up being
but
on the green side.
He goes on the greens. Yeah, Rhaenyra's going to have a rough season.
Rough rest of the show. I don't think it ever gets better for him.
Yeah, that's true. For Kingsguard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What was he called? The one that was commander. What was he called again?
Sir Beesbury or something. No, Sir Beesbury was the one who Kristen killed, wasn't he?
What was his name? He had a cool name.
So Manderley?
Sir Manderley.
No. So Mandan Moore?
You know who I'm thinking of, though, don't you?
Yeah, cool English guy.
Yeah, he's not there. Yeah. I assume he's going to Rhaenyra.
We also know that there was 2 Kingsguard who went to Rhaenyra straight away with the crown. One of whom is the twin brother of...
So Rhaenyra has 2 of the Kingsguard that were there. That Daemon basically said either you die now or you stay true to the word.
Yeah.
And then, was it Sir Eric or Eric? One of the twins.
One of the twins is there.
Is with her.
He's the one that brought the crown.
Yeah.
And we know what his fate is. It's actually quite awesome. I can't wait
It's
for
also
that.
quite sad considering what goes down. I assume we see a bit of it.
I know, I think we saw a bit of it. So I tell you what, let's just say it now.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Because we will be
Yes.
discussing potential spoilers.
Yes. So he is in armor, and that's really cool armor as well. I really like his
yeah.
armor. His hair seems longer. Is that maybe a flashback? Or no, he did have longer
He did
hair,
have
didn't he,
long
at the
hair
end?
at the end, yeah.
He did, yeah. So it's black.
It's a war camp.
Wonder where this is.
Looks like the Vale.
Do you think?
A little bit like the Vale, yeah. Because that's the thing, doesn't Damon try to bring the Vale into it?
The Vale back. They back Rhaenyra.
With the
They're all
back on
blacks.
it, yeah. Because
Yeah.
he was also married to one of them.
Whom? Damon.
Damon was, wasn't
He's
he?
married to a Royce. Is it Royce?
Was it a Royce? Someone from the Vale. He was married to someone from the Vale, wasn't he? Because he said the sheep of the Vale are prettier than its women. That was that famous thing that he
Yeah.
said to... There's the
High
Greens,
Towers.
the High Towers, yeah. What's that? What is that sigil? What are its words?
We should maybe know. Imagine if you just learned all the sigils and what the words were.
I could have. When I first read them, I probably could have told you what it was, but that knowledge has since left my
It's
head.
interesting that Otto is saying that mistakes were made during the moments after Viserys' death.
Yeah.
Because I mean, what did happen after Viserys' death? They crowned Aegon. He was very much in favour of that.
Yeah.
And
it all sort of
Viserys died.
hinges on Alicent's word, doesn't it? Because it seemed like for a moment they'd almost gone, well, Rhaenyra will make a good queen, until Alicent was with Viserys, and Viserys unknowingly said Aegon, because he was dreaming of Aegon the Conqueror's dream, but actually meant what Alicent thought he meant was Aegon must be king.
Yeah.
And so she
Well,
crowned.
that was the argument in the small council, wasn't it? He said we're basically just relying on her word, but it conveniently is her son that will be on the throne.
Which is why that guy got killed.
Which
Which
was horrible. Kristen Cole, I really don't like. Kristen
Oh
Cole.
no. Don't worry, he's got it coming.
But it looks like he's wearing the let me see later. It looks like he's wearing the chain of the Hand of the King.
Well, he is still Hand of the King, isn't he?
Kristen Cole.
Oh, Kristen. Oh, I thought you meant him.
No, later on it looks like he's wearing the chain of the Hand of the King.
I can't wait to see more of Rhys Evans. He was absolutely brilliant as Otto Hightower. I would say,
Really good actor.
I would argue second best in the whole show behind Paddy
Second
Constantine.
best. I thought you would put Matt Smith second.
Matt. Okay, maybe he's on par with Matt. Him and Matt Smith were brilliant. Also,
Yeah,
Millie
yeah,
Alcock
right.
was brilliant as young
Sure.
Rhaenyra.
The entire cast was amazing. I don't think there was a hole, you could say, in the entire cast. They
It
were
was just
all really
it was just some of the best of English actors, or British. I should say British, because I'm pretty sure Rhys Evans is Welsh. I don't think he's English.
Yeah, so it almost
She
seems
was
like
also really
he... Because correct me if I'm wrong, but Otto Hightower is kind of... Despite everything that he's done up to this point, he's the one that's kind of more reserved in
Yeah, he doesn't want a big war.
a war. Yeah. He does believe that Aegon should be king, but he doesn't want people to die over it.
Because technically, what Damon was saying is correct. They do outnumber them with dragons.
Yeah.
The main advantage that
Yeah,
the Greens have is Vhagar is the biggest.
But
She's
slower.
the biggest,
She's also slower.
and she's
And
you
older.
can see she's a bit aged on her wings.
And a less experienced rider.
Yeah, true. But who is she talking to there? Who's that with the cane?
No, I think that's what's he called. Oh, the Strong. You know what he's called?
Strong.
The weird one that gets
Oh, Laris.
Larry Strong. Because he had a cane.
Yeah, Laris Clubfoot. Well,
I think she's talking to him.
speaking of Laris Clubfoot, he's going to be in it for quite a while.
I know, he's
He's one of the last to die during the.
so she.
I know she is. So is
Few survivors.
what's it called? The Valarian, Rhaenys' husband. Corlys.
Corlys Valerian, yeah.
He's one of the longest.
Yeah, unfortunate. Yeah, look, see. Not
Is that
is that Hand of the
Is that
King?
necklace of the Hand of the King? Is that not
He
the
does-
Lord Commander?
I thought it was Hand of the King. I'm sure he becomes Hand of the King though.
I think he does become Hand of the King. I know Laris Clubfoot does become Hand of the King at one point as well, but you would think he
It
would have the
might be
pin.
Lord.
wouldn't
It
you?
might be Lord. Where would he put it?
Yeah, that's true. Just put it on his arm somewhere.
I mean, he does. I think he does become
He
commander.
does become.
Both.
I think he does both. He does, yeah.
Yeah. Which is really annoying because he basically just it kind of.
Who's the executing there? Is that one of the old?
One of our advisors. They do. What is it? Duskendale. Duskendale.
Maybe.
They do sack Duskendale, don't they? Maybe the Lord that's watching over there. But yeah, I feel like the first season didn't really go into much of it, but so Kristen is kind of a big player in what the outcome of Dance of the Dragons. He's a big orchestrator of a lot of what happens, and it seems like they're probably going to go down that road. Which is annoying because I don't like the character. Brilliant actor, don't like the character.
Is that? That's not the ball that the king has, is it? I thought that might be Aegon. Doesn't the king have a gold one?
Alicent, maybe? Alicent?
Yeah, I don't want to say it, but they look like quite effeminate hands.
It could be. I mean, it could be him. Could be his.
I suppose we don't know. But he's also a bit of an incompetent Aegon, isn't he? Actually, he's as much a victim as some of the rest of them.
Well, he absolutely is. He
didn't start off wanting the throne, did he?
Up to the very last minute, he didn't want it.
And he does get quite.
Yeah.
Quite.
Ultimately, though, well, at least from the, I keep on talking about the book. I know I said at the beginning the books aren't reliable, but from the book's perspective, the only reason he actually agreed was because he thought he was pretty much convinced that Rhaenyra would kill them all to secure a place on the throne.
Well, she certainly tries.
That's her, looking glorious.
What's her name again? Oh, what's her name? Emma Darcy.
Emma Darcy, yeah.
That's right, yeah. She was brilliant as well. In the last season, there was a bit too much child stuff for me.
Childbirthing, do
Yeah, like, it was. I
it
loved
is.
the hyper-realism of it, and I especially loved the bit where she was she having a miscarriage, and her dragon, whose name is either, is it Melis? It's not Melis. Syrax, yeah. Could feel her. It looked like she was experiencing it as well.
Yeah. Shows you more of the bond of the rider and the dragon.
I like that bit, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the noise. The sound design was something else in the last season.
It was brilliant, but it was was obviously done for intention, wasn't it? It was done to... Are these the dragon seeds? That looks like sea smoke. Is it, potentially?
Sea smoke.
Sea smoke.
Is that...
Leonor's
dragon, isn't it?
Which is interesting because he's not dead.
What's the other one called? What's the one that Nettles rides? Grey Wind or something?
No, Grey Ghost. No, you think of Grey Ghost, but her dragon was Sheepstealer.
Right. Yeah. Grey Wind is.
Grey Ghost.
No, Grey Wind is Robb Stark's direwolf.
Yes.
That's where I'm getting that from.
But it's interesting though because Sea Smoke.
His owner is still alive.
Yeah. So what he does get a new rider, which is interesting. I've seen a lot of theories that they think Leonor's going to come back as, what was his name? Something Hull. What was his name? The one that ends up riding. The one that ends up riding Sea Smoke, something Hull. I can't remember his first name. People think he's going to come back as him and like pretend.
Yeah.
To be him.
Do we know who these are? Can we tell what colours they're wearing?
That looks like red there. That looks like a bit of yellow.
That actually looks like green there, though. That looks like the banners we saw earlier on.
These are high towers.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Because what are all the wild dragons called again? There's the cannibal, who no one rides.
Yeah. Sheepstealer, which Nettles takes.
Sheepstealer.
There's Grey Ghost, who I don't believe gets a rider.
No, I think it does. I think it does get a rider, but she doesn't take part. I think she leaves. She goes and leaves.
Nettles leaves with Sheepstealer.
No, Nettles spends most of her time with Daemon. And
she
then
fights,
she leaves.
but then she leaves. I didn't think Grey Ghost got a rider because doesn't Sunfire kill Grey Ghost? Aegon's dragon. I don't think it got a rider.
Sunfire does kill someone after it's been
attacked.
Ravaged, yeah.
I thought it was Grey Ghost. Because Grey Ghost is a shy one that they struggle at.
Might be, yeah.
What was the 4 wild dragons, wasn't it? Cannibal.
Oh, there's also... What's he called? Is it Vermithor? Or is it Vermax?
Vermithor was Jaehaerys's dragon, yeah. Who someone does claim.
Yeah.
Which would be awesome, because he's like, isn't he the second largest?
Second oldest, definitely.
but he's not been in the dragon pit,
Yeah.
so he'll be big.
Let's have a look.
Rhaenys.
Rhaenys, Daemon. I absolutely adore that. You know, if I was a rich person, I would have a table like that.
I love the fact because they took the table from the Game of Thrones show where it was kind of just
It was that, but without all of the exciting
and
cool
then they
things.
added all this, which is awesome.
I would have one of them, and I would have one of Lord of the Rings as well. Like a map of Middle-earth.
Yeah.
Because that's awesome. There's
Corlys.
Corlys. We'll have to learn his name. We are going to have to learn their names.
Arik. It's either Arik. There's Arik and Eric,
Right.
which is really annoying because it's really similar.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's
Arik.
Arik. I might be completely wrong, but I'm sure it's Arik.
Yeah. There's Corlys.
Daemon. Who was he? Is that? Looks like they're by a Godswood.
Yeah. Is he executing someone there?
Potentially.
It's interesting. Did we see anything from the north? Anything that
It
indicates...
looks like there was snowiness. Maybe he's at the north there. He's in the north, maybe. Where else? I mean, there's a Godswood in the Red Keep. Where else? Have you seen a Godswood? There's one in the north. I don't know of any other Godswood trees.
Aemon eyeing the Iron Throne enviously.
Is that then at the north?
Because isn't when again, spoiler alert, when Aegon gets injured quite severely, he disappears for quite a while. Doesn't Aemon take the throne? Like he essentially acts as the ruler. Because Aegon essentially gets completely half burnt, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So he can't walk.
Completely immobilized for a significant period of time.
As is Sunfire. Is it Sunfire? Dreamfire?
Sunfire. Dreamfire is Helena's dragon.
Right.
Sunfire pretty much can't do anything in the entire.
It's supposed to be the most beautiful of the dragons as well.
We haven't seen. We've only seen a little bit of Sunfire.
I actually think we see Sunfire here. That might be the north, yeah, you're right.
I don't want to be stereotypical because there's snow, but I'm pretty sure that's the north.
Winter is coming.
Yeah. That's Alicent looking all
Yeah,
depressed.
where is she there? That doesn't look like any place I know.
Maybe that's where they went hunting. They were by a lake.
Oh, maybe. I think that might be a dream sequence or something. Because I don't know any.
It could be anywhere.
It's not Old Town. It's not where the High Towers are from.
That is Cyrax. Is that sea smoke? Or is that... It can't be...
Oh, who knows?
The only two dragons I think of, Sea Smoke and Dreamfire. But Dreamfire should be a lot larger than that. It's older than Cyrax.
Who knows?
So I think that's Sea Smoke. The coloration of him as well looks...
Who is it that ends up riding Sea Smoke?
Something Hull. He's one of the like Valarian
Oh, yeah.
Hull. Something Hull. I can't remember his first name.
Where is that?
Is that the Dragon Pit? Is that the Dragon Pit?
Is that King's Landing?
Is that the Red Keep?
Do you know what's so annoying about Game of Thrones? And I'm going to say this now for everyone. The last season of Game of Thrones destroyed any notion of where anything is. Had, like, pre-season 5, if I'd seen that, I would have instantly gone, that's King's Landing.
Yeah.
But because the terrain just completely changed, like 5 or 6 times.
You knew it was always like they were in Essos and then it was King's Landing.
Like you knew where everything was. And now it's hard to tell. That does look like the Dragon Pit.
I think that is Dragon Pit.
I think that's the Red Keep over here, isn't it? I don't know why I'm pointing and I've got the mouse.
Yeah.
Helena. She's in for a really rough ride.
Looks like we see it in another few shots.
Do we?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I thought I was talking about our kids.
No, you don't see our kids, but I think you see
What happens there?
what happens, yeah.
What was that then?
Drums, like they're walking through. Oh. Again, spoiler, but when Rhaenys dies, the parade nearly has his head around King's Landing, don't they?
That would be an awful shame. It's going to be hard to watch for some people. There's going to be.
Do they do it well?
There's going to be large portions of this that are hard to watch for people.
It's King's Guard. Looks like he's running someone down. Fire.
Yeah, he is in the middle of a battle.
that Melis, maybe?
Yeah. Because Melis doesn't... Where is it Melis goes? Because she attacks somewhere. And looks like she's winning until Aemon and...
So, I'm pretty sure... Well, I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure what happens is... she goes there because she said, like she says in the end of the season, she's going to patrol the gullet.
Yeah.
She's there, she's fighting, and then I'm pretty sure Sunfire arrives first.
Where she does the majority of the damage.
Sunfire's obviously younger.
Smaller.
And he's inexperienced compared to her, and then Vhagar turns up and...
Vhagar descends.
Yeah. I mean, considering though, like, from the book's point of view, considering Vhagar, like how large Vhagar is and how experienced Vhagar is, she puts up on a hell of a fight.
Mm-hmm. Indeed she does.
Poor thing. What is she? She's on, what's her dragon? Moon Dancer?
A very small one. Is she the one who was engaged to the Viserys?
No, that's Bella. She's Jacaerys. But she looks really distressed there, but what could you possibly be saying?
Well, that could be after whatever's happened. We don't know how many seasons of House of the Dragon there's going to be. I would expect there's at least going to be another series after this one.
I imagine it's going to be like 4.
So it depends
maybe
on what's going to be in this, like where this ends. Because I doubt Daemon ultimately ends in this. I think he's going to be at least in another series before he...
Well, that's pretty much at the very end of the dance, isn't it?
No.
Is it not?
That's sort of like... It's at the point where they kind of go, right, well, Rhaenyra can't win. No.
Yeah.
But she doesn't... The dance doesn't end until way after that.
It depends how far after the dance they want to go, because they could go up right until the very last dragon dying.
Yeah, maybe. Looks like there's a bit of a riot going on.
I wonder if we're going to see the fourth of her other son. She has 4 children.
Who knows?
He rides a dragon. I can't remember what the dragon's called. Who am you?
What's it called? They do a thing where they invite people to try and ride some of the either unclaimed
dragon seeds.
Yeah, and they end up turning against them.
Yeah, the rider of them, Vermithor turns against them. I'm sure the rider of Sea Smoke turns against them.
Yeah,
because aren't they brothers? The whole brothers.
I don't know if they're brothers.
Are they
but
not?
They lay. See, I don't think this is where...
I think it is.
What are you talking about?
This?
Yeah.
Was it Blood and Cheese?
Blood and Cheese.
I think that's this.
Yeah, but it doesn't happen to her. It happens to our kids.
Yeah, but she's made to choose which son.
Yeah,
So
and then they kill the other one. I know.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that obviously they're not going to show you them murdering children in a teaser trailer. I think this is the
yeah, but
the
she
hint.
wouldn't have scars like she did.
She didn't have stars. She was wearing like a thing over her face, because it looked like a mesh thing over her face.
Well, we'll go back to that because I'm pretty sure it looked like she had scars.
No.
But yeah, that's
definitely Blood and Cheese.
Blood and Cheese, yeah.
Which has got to be really early on. That's got to be like the beginning.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know what Blood and Cheese is, basically, is a Daemon. Daemon sends 2 assassins after, he does the whole blood for blood thing.
Son for a son.
Yeah, so they go in, they break into the Red Keep, and they capture Helena and her 2 children by Aegon. Then they make her choose which of her children should die. She names one of them. I think she names the youngest.
3.
I thought it was 2.
2 sons and a daughter. 2 twins and she's a son.
Yeah, maybe.
I think
anyway,
it's the sons she's made to choose over.
Yeah, she chooses one of her children.
The youngest.
The youngest.
They wouldn't know.
And what ends up happening is they kill the other one.
Older.
So that this other one would grow up knowing that his mother chose the other one over them.
Yeah.
It's quite...
It's horrible.
That's when Alison... I feel like that's when the Greens really...
Yeah.
Really
well, because then Helena basically goes insane, doesn't she? And she
was always a bit she's always a bit strange anyway.
Yeah.
But
she's having dragon dreams, isn't she? I presume.
Yeah. So this is what you were talking about earlier on.
Is this potentially I feel like it's a bit early for that though.
Yeah, that's... Well...
I mean, they could have confrontation before, obviously, but I don't know, that feels a bit...
Again, it depends on much...
Feels a bit...
They're going to put in one series.
Well, this is presumably right after Lucerys' death.
Yeah. So again, in case you didn't know, if it's Arik and Eric, I think you might be right. I think that's their
think it
names.
is, yeah.
Basically, obviously, there's one on the green side, one on the black side.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the black? The black side, yeah.
Blacks, yeah.
I just seemed wrong when I said it. And they're both completely loyal to their sides.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, they end up meeting. I'm pretty sure, don't they meet up in a battle?
I think so.
So they meet up in either a battle or they meet up at some point and they end up fighting each other and they end up mortally wounding one another and dying together. Awesome, sad.
It just kind of further adds to the imagery of like, because like they said it in the teaser as like kin basically killing each other for a goal.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a kinslayer, Aemon. I wonder how.
Ooh.
See, it makes it seem like she's fighting, but she doesn't fight.
I think this is probably him killing Rhaenys. Spoiler alert.
Poor Rhaenys, it's gonna be so sad.
Yeah.
But if you look at what she's wearing now, it looks like she's wearing what she's wearing at the very beginning.
Yeah.
So I think this is her like arriving in Storm's End or something.
Full of hell.
But then at the very beginning, it looks like she's covered in smoke and ash. Did she maybe burn? Is that maybe what?
Well, the thing is with the dance is that it starts off with Rhaenyra actually winning quite a lot.
Oh, she takes King's Landing?
Yeah, she can't hold King's Landing, but she takes it. But, like, it looks for all to say that she is going to win until certain things start happening, like the fracture between her and Daemon. That's a big one.
Yeah.
There's one, what's the city called? Is it Goldtown? I don't think it's Goldtown. It's a city that's not there anymore because it got destroyed during this, when it got sacked once and then sacked again by the Seeds and then re-sacked by, I don't know if it was Daemon or someone else, but it essentially gets sacked and looted 4 times. It's just wiped off the map. When that happens and when the fracture with Daemon happens, that's when it kind of...
Yeah. Well, it's essentially the people that end up causing the Blacks to lose, really, when you think about it. It's them that kill the dragons, isn't it? And destroys everything.
So yeah, the dragon
looks massive.
I know.
It's insane. Said you wanted to go back and look at something.
Oh yeah, Helena. That's what
She's definitely got like a shawl or something over her head. It's a shawl. She's got something over her head. It's like a black, like mesh. She's wearing black. It's like she's in mourning.
Oh, I thought she had scars.
I wonder if that's
Probably then, yeah.
That could be after someone's died. Could be after Viserys. Maybe have a funeral for Viserys. Anything really, but it looks like she's just got like a shawl over her head or something.
It didn't show you Meraxes, did it?
Caraxes. Meraxes was Rhaenys' dragon during the conquest.
Who's Melees then?
Melees.
Oh, yeah.
Melees is...
Meraxes was...
Meraxes was Rhaenys'...
yeah.
During the conquest.
Right, yeah.
Caraxes is Daemon's dragon.
God, I've read that book twice as well and I can still never remember all the X's and the A's.
They all
and
sound
the
so similar, don't they?
G's, the stupid C's.
The amount of Aegons and just the repeat of the names is insane.
Yeah. So I doubt this will go as far as Harrenhal between Daemon and Aemon. I doubt it'll go there.
I don't think. No, I think that'll probably be like
toward the end.
Yeah, I reckon there'll be about 4, potentially 5 seasons.
I would say 4, because I don't think they'll go much further than Rhaenyra's death. I don't think they'll show you who ends up being the king after Aegon, or if it does, it'll be like a little snippet, because that's when there's only a few years between that and the end of Fire and Blood.
I know, but you'd think though that because the whole point is like the winner, and ultimately it's Rhaenyra's children that end up on the Iron Throne. Spoiler alert again. You'd think it would show you that in the last of the dragons dying. And where they go, because Daemon's children survive. All of his children do. Rhaenyra and Baela both survive.
I know.
Don't one of them marries a Hightower? Is it Rhaenyra? No. One of them marries a Hightower.
I don't know. I don't know how I would feel about it. I would prefer it if they ended it, because I can't remember which king it ends on. The awkward one. Not very good king. They're not very good son of Rhaenyra, whose twin ends up on the throne as well. So Aegon and Viserys.
Aegon is the oldest one. He's on the throne first.
Yeah.
And then Viserys is king after him.
Viserys is the good one, isn't he? He's the one that goes.
He's the one that essentially like
abroad and then comes
he's
back.
his hand, and he's basically like.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really blame him. I don't think Aegon is necessarily a bad king. I think he's kind of just overcome with grief, and because he watched what happens to Rhaenyra.
He's a recluse as well, though, isn't he? He's sort of like he doesn't have any interests at all. It's just kind of dull.
Yeah, I think it's Viserys is the one that essentially.
I think it may show you him at the end of the whole show, but I wouldn't feel happy about it going further than that.
I would be happy with it just showing you that Aegon the Younger is going to become king after Aegon dies. Yeah. That's really confusing to say, but you know what I mean.
Aegon of the Greens dies,
and then Aegon of the Blacks becomes king.
Born of Rhaenyra and Daemon, becomes the king.
Yeah.
And then his brother Viserys.
Because then you know what's going to happen after that. You know it. Yeah. Well, potentially, you know that. Yeah. Yeah. Because like they don't win, but they kind of do because they survive and they.
Rhaenyra doesn't win, but the Blacks do.
Yeah.
But I suppose it doesn't really count as the Blacks. It's the Blacks and the Greens. They all kind of.
But it is through Rhaenyra that House Targaryen continues as it was intended.
Yep.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens in terms of characterization.
Yeah.
Because Rhaenyra is really played out to be like a horrible, like Maegor with boobs.
Yeah, she gets called Maegor with boobs. Yeah.
Not that they don't use the word boobs, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, like. But then we've seen so much of what she's been through and what Alicent's been through and what all the characters have been through, so it's interesting to see where it's going to go.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of death.
Yes. I think we all gathered that much, yeah.
Because the first season was obviously meant to be the prologue to the dance, where this is the dance
actually happening.
Yeah. Obviously the main points will probably come a bit later on. Again, I feel like the dance is all but finished. Not all but finished, but like it's pretty much confirmed who's going to win when Daemon and Aemon meet at Harrenhal. Is it Harrenhal that they meet? It is that they meet, isn't it? No, it might not be Harrenhal, you know. I think they have there's an initial battle at Harrenhal that Daemon wins and he takes Harrenhal. But then I think it's been.
I don't know if it is Harrenhal
where
they die, because
it might be that place that I was talking about earlier on. That gets wiped off the map.
They're over like ocean, aren't they? Don't they both fall into the same?
I don't think they're into an ocean. It's like a lake or a river. The bodies are never found.
No, because that's where Dark Sister's lost, isn't it?
Yeah. But I think it's that place I was on about where, because I think either the Greens or the Blacks initially take. It must be the Greens. The Greens initially take this place. They sack it. Then the Seeds come and take it back. But then the Seeds essentially damage it even more and revolt against the Blacks. Then Daemon comes and reclaims it. Spends all his time there. That's when Rhaenyra sends him the message saying, "Whatever, do whatever you want to do. I don't care anymore." And he's kind of like, at that point, he kind of gives up and just goes, "Well, but that's it, you know. That's the end." He sends Nettles away. But he also gets a message from Aemon saying, if you're any kind of a man or whatever, and he essentially challenges him to a battle. And he flies there, and that's where they
clash,
duke it out. And if they go with what's in the book, then
awesome.
Matt Smith's going to have a lot of fun. Because it's quite an awesome.
I think they both will. I think it'll just be an awesome fight.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. Frankly, every cast member. The more I think about how great everyone is, but I feel like it's really difficult to watch for some people.
I mean, you find it difficult to watch the birthing scenes, but I feel like there's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
And a part of me is really concerned about blood and cheese, like how much of that we're going to see, because it is really horrible, and it's children.
Yeah, it happens in the thing.
I know,
thing is, I think what Game of Thrones needs to remember is what it was before it turned bad. Like before, it was scared to do anything except penis jokes. It's like back when it was cool, the deaths always meant something, and if it was like a really brutal death, it was meant to show you the world, the stakes that they're living in.
Yeah.
You know, so things like the Red Wedding happening was like, it was meant to show you this is the world that we're living in.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we did kind of see Lucerys dying. That was like really like.
That's one.
So.
But it also needs to separate itself, I think, from Lord of the Rings. You know, Lord of the Rings, everything is like really heroic and everyone fights.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, like, you know, Rings of Power, Lord of the Rings. Got Game of Thrones content from Lord of the Rings content.
Okay.
Where, you know, everything in Lord of the Rings is all beautiful and it's heroic and everyone dies in heroic ways and, you know, everything's really tragic and but this is like, it's meant to be gory. It's political and it's meant to be almost sad, the amount of blood that gets spilled in this, which is one of the bloodiest battles, if not the bloodiest battle in Game of Thrones history. You could argue that the Conquest was more bloodier, but considering this is kin versus kin, it's kind of crazy. But that was us dissecting what we could of the House of the Dragon teaser. Let us know what you think. Correct some of our stuff, but be nice, because, you know, we're not experts. Like I said, I've read the book twice, and there's just too many AEGs, you know, too many AEs, too many X's, and C's,
Ons and E's, and
then there's all the plumbing
dragons,
sigils, and
the dragons,
house words, their allegiances. It's just impossible. So feel free to tell us.
Maybe we do need a map a minute, like figure out who's where.
Yeah, with those little war things. That'd be cool. Oh, yeah.
I feel like I should walk a child in here.
Yeah, I'm going to put that in the bucket list. Yeah, let us know what you think. Like the video, subscribe, tingle about the notified when we upload. We upload every day. Anything else you want to say?
At this point, are you team black or team green?
At this point, team green. Team black.
Oh, I thought it was team green there.
Black. At this point,
black.
I'm team black.
You know, I don't know if I'd ever be swayed from team black, depending on the route they go with this.
The thing is that...
I don't agree with what's going to happen to Helena.
Yeah.
But I think I'm still team black at this point.
The thing is with the Greens is, toward the end of the last season, they seemed to be easing up. It was only really Aemon who sparked things up again when he was insulting the Cerys and Jacaerys, you know, at the feast. But it seemed like they were all kind of going, okay, so Rhaenyra is the you know, she's the heir, fair enough, she'll be a good queen, whatever. And it was a complete misunderstanding. But then the very end, when Lucerys died, it was Lucerys, wasn't it, the younger?
Lucerys, yeah.
When he died, I think that serves to show you that exactly what Viserys said, which is people think that the Targaryens control the dragons. They don't control the dragons.
Yeah.
It's like
bonded to the dragon.
Yeah.
And the point is that, like, because it is, that bond is built on emotion. We saw it with Rhaenyra when she was giving birth, like you said. I don't think the dragons can necessarily discern between like anger and like levels of anger. Aemon was obviously angry at Lucerys because he lost an eye, but he wasn't meaning to kill him.
No.
And obviously, I don't think the dragon could discern from how far he wanted to go.
Yeah.
Which is a dangerous thing.
I feel like it's going to get to a point where we're not going to be rooting for any of the characters.
Once we want it all to stop.
Yeah. Especially when the dragons start falling.
Yeah. I know that's the people that I'm more concerned about is the dragons.
Well, they're not people. They're dragons.
The beings, the things that I'm most concerned about.
Well, they're not things either. Try and show a bit of compassion.
The living things.
Yeah, I think that's the point though. There's no bad or good characters here. There's only, you know, there's no.
The strong guy.
Who's a really.
The strong. What's he called?
Oh, Larys.
Larys Strong. I don't like him.
Yeah, 'cause what was his brother called?
Harwin, yeah. So Harwin Strong.
Harwin Strong.
We liked him, but
what was he called? Harwin Breakbones or something.
Yeah.
Bone Breaker. He was cool.
Bones.
He was cool. And his dad was cool as well.
Yeah, we liked them, but we didn't like Larys. Oh, Hightower's a bit of a weird one. I don't particularly like him.
Who?
Otto.
Well,
he's just slimy.
I wouldn't say he's pure evil though. I don't think there's any pure evil.
He's just slimy.
So are most of the characters in this. Anyway, thank you for watching.
I bet we're gonna cry so much during that.
I think we will as well.
I need to know.